101.3 Biggest Little Radio presents Jan's Small Business Spotlight with Jan Friends.
Hey everybody, it's Wednesday. We're taking care of business once again. You are listening to Jan's Small Business Spotlight. I'm Jan from the Fernley News Network. Find us online at fernleynews.com for all your breaking news and weather. To find local businesses and services, check out our business directory at fernleybusinessdirectory.com. If you've got a business, you need to be there. This segment is sponsored by Liberty Fitness, teaching strength through discipline. If you're looking to get your mind and body into perfect harmony, you need to stop by Liberty Fitness. Liberty Fitness offers classes and instructions that include CrossFit for adults and kids, Taekwondo, cardio, kickboxing, and Ninja Warrior training. Your kids can benefit too with tumbling classes and dance classes that include instruction in ballet, tap, jazz, hip-hop, modern, and musical theater. Stop by Liberty Fitness today. Call us with questions for our guests anytime throughout our live broadcast. That's now by calling 775-404-1115. Text us at 775-737-2344 or use the chat box at biggest-little-radio.com. Today my guest is Jennifer Beemen from DICE N Duels. In this day and age, it's hard to find gameplay that doesn't involve computers and electronics. DICE N Duels specializes in board games, card games, and tabletop war games. But it's not just a store to go and buy games. DICE N Duel offers open play every day as well as tournament play. You can visit DICE N Duels at 192 East Main Street, Suite 6 in Fernley. Welcome to the show, Jennifer.
Thank you.
Nice to have you here.
Oh, it's good to be here.
This is a relatively new store in Fernley, right?
It is. Yeah, we've been open for about a month and a half now. So it's interesting.
It's interesting. Yeah, still getting started and everything.
Definitely. Yeah. Every day is something new.
I noticed on your Facebook page you had like 400 likes already. So
yeah, crazy, huh?
Yeah, that's great. Facebook is really super popular.
It is. It's amazing.
Yeah. So you opened it with your husband, Tim?
I did.
Okay, and you came from where?
Well, originally Canada, but we actually moved here to Fernley from Hawthorne. So yeah. I mean, it was a big decision. It was a big decision to move. You know, when I came to Nevada, I've only lived here for a few years, and it was okay. We're packing everything up, selling the house, and we're moving.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you were in Hawthorne, what did you do up in Hawthorne?
I started out working at the military base. My husband and I worked there. He worked there for a couple of years. I worked there for 2 years. And then I opened up a bakery, and I just decided that, I needed a change. So we closed the bakery, sold the house, and left.
Wow. Mm-hmm. What made you decide on Fernley in particular?
My husband has an amazing job, and our kids really needed a better schooling setting. So being that he was away from the house a lot of the time, we just decided that we wanted to be up closer so that we could be more of a family, just be more of a stronger family union. Uh-huh. So we decided that we'll come to Fernley because it's a prettier place. We liked it. It was nice. And it's on the way to Reno. So why not?
So it's a lot of people are deciding on Fernley just for that fact that
right.
It's close to Reno, but it's not in Reno, so you don't have the higher prices to deal with.
And you don't have to worry about all the big city stuff.
Right. But it's close enough that if you need something there,
Definitely.
You want to go for a weekend or night for entertainment, you're getting away, but it's not that far.
Yeah, it's a 25-minute drive. Why not?
This kind of the games that you handle. What's the availability of getting them and playing them and doing tournaments, and which we'll get into more detail of that later. But is it far and few between as far as places to actually go and do this kind of activity?
Coming from Hawthorne, we would actually drive up to either Carson City or up to Reno. So there is nothing in between that. So for the people in Hawthorne and Fernley, Fallon, surrounding areas, the closest place is us now, so that they don't have to drive all the way to Carson or into Reno.
That makes it good. What is the history on, I know there's, Dungeons and Dragons per se, this has been around for a long time. What are besides getting the kids and everybody, away from computers, what is the history on these type of board games? When did they kind of get started?
Well, D&D has been out forever. Shoot, probably since before I was born. But, these types of games, they're out there and they've been out there for a while, but they're not really heard of, because typically when people play board games, they typically think of like Yahtzee or Monopoly and such like that. But they're not aware that there are other types of board games out there that actually don't pit you against everybody else at the table. A lot of the games that we carry are, work together and build a team in order to defeat the actual board game rather than your player. So there are a lot of games out there that do that, but we kind of, these are just the new age games that are out there. So we're trying to get that out there in the open and let people know that, hey, there's a newer style of game out there and you should come try it.
Yeah, as far as team play, I was trying to do some research because I know of the games, but not any particulars of them. So I thought, okay, I'm going to do a little research here and take a look. And I watched a video yesterday that they were talking about a tournament and kind of the workings of it. That they were all after a quest. It had a dragon in it that was, they weren't quite sure what to do, but they had multiple tables.
Yeah.
So when one table got either a weapon or they got an idea or something, or they fixed something or breached a barrier or something like that, they let all the other tables know that we're there.
Yeah. There's a lot of games out there that are like that. Like one of them that we carry in the store is called Mice and Mystics. Now what that is it's kind of a take on Dungeons and Dragons, but it's more targeted towards children and families. So basically an entire family will sit down and you play mice in this game. And it is a tile-based game in which you have a scenario, and as you go along in the game, you switch the tiles out. With playing the mice, there are cats and birds and stuff that you have to defeat. So in order to do so, you have to work together as a team to say, okay, well, I need you to go up here so you can go do that and you can get this item, and then we'll come back down and meet, and you, Joe, over here can run away from the cat and keep him running. So it's one of those things where you really have to come together as a family, as a group, and play together and work well together in order to defeat the board game.
So you have not only the board game that you're working with, you've got a little bit of the imagination thing going too.
Absolutely,
right?
absolutely.
That they can put the storyline together and see things in their head.
Definitely.
As well.
Yeah, you definitely have to think a step ahead. Otherwise, you will get eaten by the cat.
Well, that's good to know there's things out there for families.
There is a lot.
Individuals.
A lot. And we have a lot of families that come in. We don't only just sell the board games and stuff. We have a lot of board games that are taken out of stock just for people to come in and play. We have, we can seat 32 people at any given time. You can come in and it's just a free environment. You come in, you say, hey, I'd really like to try out this game. So you know what? Take the board game to the table. It's not a big deal.
And it really doesn't cost anything to be there.
Not at all.
Or you can just go play a game that you already know, play in a tournament or something that
absolutely.
You're
Some of the
hosting
tournaments,
at the time.
most of the tournaments do cost, only because we give away prizes at the end of the tournament. So we just basically recoup our money that way throughout that. And, people play and it's a good time.
Now, as far as young minds, because you have some teenagers and
I have an 11-year-old and 2 8-year-olds.
And you have some, I shouldn't say kids, I don't want to offend kids, but they're kind of in between kids and young adults that come in and play.
Our age range goes anywhere. We have a little boy who is 8 years old who plays Majic, and he is good. And he comes in and he plays with the adults and he beats the adults. It's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah. So, we have anywhere from 8 years old all the way up to 50, 60-year-olds coming in to play. So, yeah, everybody.
Now, as far as development, I think this would be a good suggestion for young minds to get the imagination, the creativity going, because you're using a different side of your brain when you're doing something like this, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's always, it encourages quick thinking. It encourages people to rely on one another. It encourages trust and team building skills, which you can't really get when playing a video game or Monopoly.
Yeah, even some of the video games where they team up,
Right.
and they're, shooting or they're doing whatever. They have to do some strategy with those
Definitely.
as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
But these games they have a lot of strategy to them.
There is a lot of strategy. Yeah, you really have to think. Sometimes it's going to get to the point where, okay, you either have a lot of laughs or you have everybody going, no, you should have done this, but at the same time, a video game, you can always respawn. If you do something wrong, you mess up, you respawn and you try it all over again. With a board game, you mess up, there are consequences. And then you either lose the game and have to start all over, or you have to rely on your teammates to help you out to fix it.
So if you get off in a board game, there's no
You're pretty much out.
There's no reset button on
There's
that
no
one.
reset button.
Yeah, so therefore the consequences that
Definitely.
you have to kind of step away and wait.
Right, exactly. So it also teaches patience as well.
So you've got patience and thinking and strategy, and it sounds like a good thing for the kids to get into.
Definitely. There's actually a lot of companies out there also who use these board games as a team building experience for their business, because they'll have, they'll just do a game day in which the companies will get together and they'll split all of their employees into teams, and they'll sit down and they'll play these games, and it encourages them to meet one another, to talk to one another, and to really get to know them and work together as a team.
I could see where that would really work well.
Yeah, it's good.
Are there any other uses, besides what you just mentioned that people could be using these for? Well, I mean, family environment, you could, bring them into
Definitely.
the home and use it that way as far as the...
I do events at the store almost on a daily basis. So it really gets the community involved. It invites everybody in the community into my store. It invites them in so that they can get to know each other. I think it really strengthens the community, gives people, get to know people and such, so that, the camaraderie of it just grows community values.
Yeah, and if you're sharp and you play enough games with people, you kind of figure out their tales too.
Absolutely. Definitely.
So what kind of, we're going to have to break here pretty soon, but I want to go over what kind of products, the games and stuff that you have. You mentioned Majic.
Yeah, we
Which
do
is-
Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh. We do board games, all different types of card games, Card Fight Vanguard. Oh, shoot, just to name a few. We do Dungeons and Dragons every Wednesday. We've got Magic the Gathering's new Amonkhet coming out this Friday, so that's something to really look forward to. We did the pre-release last week, so yeah, it was excellent. It was amazing.
Super. You were talking about that. We have you have an extra one?
I do. I have an extra box of Pokemon that just got released last week. Not really widely known about yet. So yeah, I have an extra one.
Okay, all right. Well, let's take a break, but before we do, let's give away that extra box.
All right, cool.
Okay, so everybody listening, write down the number. I'll take the first caller that dials 775-404-1115. Don't worry about it. We won't put you on the air. But you must call the number. So call 775-404-1115. We'll be back after a few words from our sponsor, Liberty Fitness, teaching strength through discipline. If you're looking to get your mind and body into perfect harmony, you'll need to stop by Liberty Fitness today. You can find them at the corner of 95A and Cottonwood in Fernley. So stay tuned. We'll be right back, and call that number and get your free game.
Follow the conversation on our chat box at www.biggestlittlerradio.com.
Strength through discipline is our motto, and we can help you live by it. We are Liberty Fitness, and we offer a variety of classes for adults and youth to help you reach your goals. Contact us at 980-8096 or visit us at 888 Highway 95A for more information.
101.3 Biggest Little Radio presents Jan's Small Business Spotlight with Jan Friend.
Welcome back. This segment brought to you by Liberty Fitness, teaching strength through discipline. We're talking to Jennifer Beemen from DICE N Duels. DICE N Duels is located at 192 East Main Street, Suite 6 in Fernley. If you have questions on this topic, call us here at 775-404-1115. Send a text to 775-737-2344, or use the chat box at biggestlittleradio.com. Jennifer, let's give out your contact information. We've got your address, but your phone, your website, hours of operation, Facebook. How can people connect with you?
So we are open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m., except for today, because I won't be back till 1. But
because you're here.
Right. And we are, like I said, we're located at 192 East Main Street. So it's in the back, kind of hidden away, but, we're a gem. So we're hidden. And then our Facebook, you can actually just look up DICE N Duels. The website is dicenduels.com. The telephone number is 775-302-3835.
Okay, so I want to make sure that when you say DICE N Duels, it's DICE with the letter N and duels.
That's correct.
And then duels.
Yes.
So don't put an A and D there, just put an N.
Right. It's just the letter N.
And you're going to find everything. And we did have a winner. How about that?
Yay!
We had Ronnie Adrian
Yes.
call. And so, Ronnie, you're today's winner, and I'm told you know exactly where to go to pick this up. So that's absolutely wonderful. Again, if you have any question about these games, or you're a gamer, or you go down to DICE N Duels already, send us a text, give us a call, let us know what you think, or suggestions. If there's any other games that you might want to have them carry, anything like that. Just call the number or text over, or use the chat box over at Biggest Little Radio, and we'll get you hooked in or on the air if you want, or not. A lot of people don't like to. So let's, Jennifer, let's go over the activities in the games, because people don't know exactly what they are. They've heard of games like Dungeons and Dragons and Pokemon, and you see cards like over at Walmart that have
Definitely
a whole little section that has everything.
Right.
But they have no clue about
exactly
how it works, what's the booster pack, what's the game itself.
Right.
So you already had, well, let's see, this is Wednesday. You did have yesterday Star Wars X-Wing demo games running yesterday.
Absolutely, yeah.
So that's a new one out?
It's not exactly a new one out, and what that is it's kind of like a tabletop war game. Basically, it's along the Star Wars line. So you play actually the Star Wars little figurines, and you have a mat set down on the table, which is, your play area. There's different mechanics to each game. So with Star Wars X-Wing, you have certain little pieces that you actually have to move in order to fight the battle with your opponent. And it's basically your starfighters fighting against theirs. So that's Star Wars X-Wing. It is a lot of fun. We are actually trying to get into the tournament circuit of that. So we encourage you, if you're interested at all, come on down. Let's play some Star Wars.
Oh, that's great. You had another demo, Dead of Winter and Sheriff of Nottingham. Is that 2 games or 1 game?
It's actually 2 games. Dead of Winter is a zombie apocalypse game. So it's almost exactly like The Walking Dead. So you start out in a building, and what your job is with you, yourself, and 6 players. You basically have to defeat all the zombies, and you're having to go out and search for supplies. So you're searching for food, and you're searching for gasoline, and you're searching for things that are going to make your community run. In the meantime, you're finding extra people, that...
But you're all avoiding zombies at the same time.
You
right?
are, and you have to protect your main area, because if it gets overrun, then you all die, right?
Bummer.
So,
Game over.
So it's a zombie apocalypse. And then the Sheriff of Nottingham is actually very, very fun. So what you're trying to do with that one is, I believe it goes up to 5 players, and it's all about being a liar and smuggling.
Oh,
so
dear.
you sit around your table, and each person takes a turn to be the sheriff. And what you're trying to do as the sheriff is to prevent anybody from smuggling things into your city. So everybody else's job is to create points, and to gain as many points as they can. But legally, in the game, there are only certain point numbers or point values to the cards that you play. So when you play something that is supposed to be not going in, what is supposed to be actually banned from going in, you get a higher point value. But the sheriff has to ask you, you have to declare everything when you try to get into the city. So you put your cards that you choose into a little envelope, and you say, okay, the sheriff will say, all right, Jen, what do you have in your basket? Well, I have, 2 bread. And he's going to think, okay, well, does she look like she's lying? Does she look like she's smuggling something? And if not, then he says, okay, go ahead. And if you are able to smuggle the high point values in, then you get extra points. So it's a lot of fun, and it's super, super funny to realize that people can really lie to you with a straight face, and it's just crazy. You had no idea.
Yeah, see, and you all thought poker was bad. Tonight you've got the
Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons and Dragons. It's an adventure league tonight.
Yeah, Adventurers League just means basically Wizards of the Coast, the makers of the game, actually puts on these evenings. So it is Wednesday nights. We report with Wizards. You actually gain point values in order to play. So people come in. It is absolutely 100% free. You come in, you sit down, you create a character, you play your game, and you just have fun for the evening. It starts at 7 o'clock, and we have usually about 20 to 28 people that come in. And they play. We have 3 different DMs that come in and run the games. So we have 3 different groups.
And DMs are Dungeon Masters,
yes,
right?
sorry, Dungeon Masters.
I'm trying to keep this for people who have no clue. I'm like maybe one level above you guys. So, I'm finding out the same time you are. That's why I'm asking all these crazy little...
Yes, a DM is a person that actually runs the game and makes sure that he is the storyteller to the game.
Okay.
Yeah. And our DMs do amazing work. They really do.
So when people come in or they've played for a while, they're at certain levels, right?
Yes.
They have certain things that they own or, to play the game.
Right.
How is that kept straight? Is there a database? Is there, somebody can't come in and say, hey, I've got all this stuff and have no proof, right?
Well, what they do is actually, we print out character sheets in which they create, everything from what they have as per money, finances, what they enjoy, like basically their entire persona. You create a background for your character. You create a look for your character. Basically, you even get to choose the spells in which you use during the game. So it's really in depth.
Yeah,
it could take days to create a character, but we kind of do it within an hour.
Yeah, and then you have to have your weapons and your little magical things
Definitely
that you use to.
And as you go along
further
in the game, you basically go out as a group and you fight monsters. And, our DMs use little miniatures to show, where you are and stuff like that. So it's kind of a combination of an imaginary game, yet it's also a tabletop game.
So it's a good combination of both. Then.
Definitely.
MTG, what is that?
MTG is Magic the Gathering.
Okay.
That has been around forever, and it has not died down, and it is still going strong, and it is amazing. It is a trading card game. Actually, we have last Friday and Saturday, we did pre-releases for the game itself. And there's a new version coming out, which is Amonkhet. So it's something that you definitely have to keep up with. We also do, this Friday is the release date of Amonkhet. So we're anticipating quite a busy weekend between, the new, everybody coming in to rush to get the new booster packs and stuff like that to... We do standard tournaments. So a standard is a type of format in which we play. So it actually has the legality of the cards. You can only play certain cards in it. We do pauper events, which are basically all commons. So basically common card format so that you can't use like the rares and stuff like that you get in the booster packs. And then we do, all sorts of different ones. We've got Commander League coming out. Because of the new release of Amonkhet, we have MTG League, which is Amonkhet League. So you'll come in and purchase your 3 booster packs and play it out as an entire deck, and it goes on for a couple weeks. And there's specific prizes to each one of these events. So it's a lot of fun, and people really like to come in because of the value of these cards. It's just incredible.
That's great. What's the Force of Will? You have the booster.
Force of Will is another trading card game. The artwork is absolutely beautiful. I think that's what's selling a lot of the people on it. The gameplay of it, the schematics of it are a lot like Magic. So if you can play Magic, you can play Force of Will. Like I said, it's another trading card game in which you purchase your booster packs and you create your deck. And there's a ton of people at the store that play it. So don't feel like you can't just come in and have no clue what you're looking for, because come in anyway. We can all explain it to you. I have my own personal deck of Magic as well as Force of Will, and I do know how to play Pokemon. So come on in and, I'll sit with you and I'll play.
And you've got something here for, all your late night owls at 11 p.m.
Oh my gosh.
Cards Against Humanity. How is that? Well,
Okay, so Cards Against Humanity is very much an adult-based game. I wanted to make sure that there's no children. So we do not do this until after the store closes. So I close the store down. The adults, usually it's 18 plus. We may be going to 21 because I'm actually incorporating some new games with it too. So I actually spoke with a company yesterday. It's called Drawing Without Dignity. I spoke with the company that makes it, and they're actually Washington based, and they have never actually sold it in Nevada yet.
Wow.
So we are going to be the only store in Nevada right now that actually
that's
carries
super
this game.
cool.
Yeah, so we're actually going to be doing store events with that too. So not only is it going to be Cards Against Humanity, there's going to be some other new ones for the adults. Because adults need time away from the kids too.
Yes, they do.
They do.
They do. And this is, adults only. It's late night. It's things that you can't normally do during business hours, because people
Right.
saying there's nothing to do. There's only casinos to go to that late at night.
Right.
Here's something else that you can do late
Exactly.
at night.
In
on
an
the
adult
weekend.
setting in which, you don't have to worry about the kids. Get a sitter for the night. Go out and enjoy yourself because you know what? Parents need time too.
Oh, yes. They
Yeah.
definitely do.
Yeah.
And oh my goodness, our time's up. But you know what? You need to go over to DICE N Duels and check this out because this is it's really fun. It's really fun. Thank you all for joining me today for Jan's Small Business Spotlight. I'm Jan, owner of Fernley News Network. Find it all in one place: breaking news and weather, plus great writers and reporting, along with featured local businesses. Our main website is fernleynews.com. You can also find us at Fernley News on Twitter, Fernley360 on YouTube, and Fernley News Network on Facebook. We're everywhere. Our Facebook page is the one you want to like for breaking news, weather, and road conditions, and of course some funny stuff because we can't be serious all the time. If you'd like to be a guest on this program, sponsor this segment, have coupons or gifts you'd like to give away, or have suggestions for guests or topics that you'd like to hear, you can email me at radio@fernleynews.com or call 775-835-3582 and leave me a message or text. You can also call the station at 775-404-1115. Thanks again to my guest, Jennifer Beemen from DICE N Duels, located at 192 East Main Street, Suite 6 in Fernley, and to our sponsor, Liberty Fitness, teaching strength through discipline, located at 888 Cottonwood Lane in Fernley. Until next week, stay safe, stay informed, make sure to bookmark fernleynews.com, and keep your dial tuned to 101.3 FM. This is Jan from Jan's Small Business Spotlight, and I'm taking care of business every Wednesday at noon. I'll have a new guest and spotlight a new business every week. Hey, are you a business owner? Do you want to be a guest on the show? If you're in Fernley, Fallon, Silver Springs, or surrounding areas, give me a call. I'll put you in the spotlight. Listen to Jan's Small Business Spotlight and call in with your questions and comments during the show. I'm Jan. I'm broadcasting live every Wednesday at noon right here at Biggest Little Radio 101.3 FM. Tune in.